Hi, I'm going to put together a very quick, rough and ready bit of advice about how you can access your Credly badge and start to make use of it. So the idea is that you have a little go with this before you come to the workshop, and at the workshop we can think in much more detail about the valuable ways you might be able to use your badges. Right, so hopefully you will have received an email from the University of Leicester via Credly, which thanks you and directs you towards the badge. So you'll notice within the email we invite you again to the workshop, so if you haven't done so already then do please sign up. And the link to do so is here. So in terms of accessing your badge, we click on this link here and it should take you to Digital Me Credly. Now you may see a slightly different screen to this, I'm not quite sure. Because I am already registered with Credly in order for me to be able to award the badges. So the first thing you need to do is going to be to sign in or to register. So I would imagine it would be to register in your case. So I'm going to sign in. Okay, so now I've signed in, I can see what this badge looks like. And so within these images, you have this information embedded. So this is useful for an employer wanting to find out more information about you. The idea is they can click on this badge and it will take them to this verified page, which is hosted by a well-known provider, validated that the issuer is University of Leicester, and it tells the employer the description of what the person had to do to get the badge and the criteria that they had to meet. And over here it tells you who actually was awarded the badge. Right, so let's have a play around. So firstly, you'll note you can share with some different services. So we've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So if we go to your actual profile page, so this would be mine, we can have a look at some of these. So if we go to account settings, this is where you can choose whether or not to add additional information. So again, think about the consent form you completed. We haven't been able to, at this stage, demonstrate that Credly is a safe place for data to be held, so just be mindful at the moment about what information you add. So that evaluation is going on at the moment, and we hope to have some feedback on that a little bit later on, but at the moment that hasn't been completed yet, so we can't say that they're a completely secure place at the moment. But you can see how you can add certain information, a little bit about yourself, etc, etc. So you don't need to upgrade. Firstly, you still have access to all of this with the level of service free level. So if we look at credit, you'll see that I have now earned this badge, which I can think about how I want to display it. We can see we've got an inbox, so that's stuff that's just come in. There's ones that I've made public, there's ones that are hidden, and there's different categories. So this badge here, if I was to click on this, it would make it hidden, so it can no longer be seen. It's now in the hidden category and not in the public category. So you can control exactly which badges you display to different people. What's interesting is you can set up categories. So I'm going to add maybe things around learning and teaching. So if I'm applying for jobs around learning and teaching, I might put badges related to that within this category. And so if I was applying for a job in teaching, I would direct people to this particular category. So then if we go back to all and go into manage, we can move this badge to that category. So it gives you a lot of control over who sees what. So with this, I can use the URL and embed that within a website or something along those lines, or I can share it using this tool here. And these are the various places I can send it to. So it can go to Facebook, to Twitter, LinkedIn. I can get the code to embed it within a site. I can share the link, or I can download it. So downloading would enable me to take it to a different platform that hosts Open Badges. So another quite famous one is Mozilla Backpack. So you might want to think about whether you'd like to set one of those up in the future. Alternatively, you can download it at this point and use it as an image file which has this embedded data within it. So you'd want to save it in the Open Badge format and download it. So if you have registered different email addresses with your account, it will at this point give you the option to save the badge with one of those email addresses. So that's important in terms of the verification. So if you were then to upload this badge to Mozilla, it would need to have the correct email address linked to it. So just bear that in mind. So somewhere that I'm quite excited about using this is in LinkedIn. So to put, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this. So to put a badge into LinkedIn, you can either add it to your profile as a certification, so it'll take you through those steps, or you can share it as a post. And there is a third way: you can add it to your bio and give you some information, additional information for people who are interested there. So let's just have a quick look at what else you could do. You could play around with posting it on Twitter, Facebook, or sharing the link in any other kind of social media sites that you'll be interested in. So one thing again to be aware of is the data security, and if you've set up different profiles with so if you've got different digital online identities, so for example I have a professional one which I use for work, but I also have a social one, so you know, where I share images of kind of family and things like that. And I'm quite happy for those two to stay separate, really. I don't particularly want to link those two up. So I'm going to be wary to not actually start posting things related to work on Facebook. And I'm going to keep my Twitter kind of accounts separate from my personal accounts. But that's something that's up to you. You just need to think about your digital footprint and whether you are uploading things to a certain sphere or a certain identity that you wouldn't want to be seen by people who know your other identity. So we'll talk more about some of the intricacies of this during the session, but it's just something to be aware of. Right, so what I'll show you now is very quickly my LinkedIn profile. So hopefully this will give you an idea of how you can use your badges. So if you were to post it, it would basically go in a post here and be added to this wall. If you were to add it to your profile, what basically happens is it goes into the profile section here, which you can either go into via this menu, or if you scroll down you can also access it here. So accomplishments, and you would add one, certification, and it brings up this menu. So it's a case of copying and pasting from Digital Me Credly these different bits of information. And what this means is that LinkedIn can access Credly to then verify this badge. So what that should hopefully look like is this. So you see you've got a certain license there, C certificate, and it should link back to Credly. So this is something that people who aren't registered with Digital Me would be able to see. So you can also post it within your bio, as you can see here. So what that might look like, hopefully these will work. Takes you to a similar process, open badge, through to Credly, and there we go. And to do that, you simply click on this pencil here and insert a link. So put that there and it will add it at the bottom. So there are lots of ways that you might want to use a badge. So during the session we're going to have a think about some of those different ways. And after the workshop we're going to be opening a competition for about 2 weeks where you can go out and think about different ways you might want to use your badge, what would be useful to you, what would you like to use it for, and the most innovative and creative uses of your open badge can win a prize. So we'll have 3 prizes, one of a, I think, well, we've not quite decided, but I think it's going to be a £50 Amazon voucher and 2 £25 Amazon gift vouchers. Okay, so if you do have any questions, then do get in touch. My email is alexandra.patel@le.ac.uk. But if not, then hopefully we'll see you at the workshop on Monday. So that's 10 to 12 in the Charles Wilson building, 2nd floor, Beaver Park Lounge. Okay, thank you.